What's going on, folks? Welcome to another episode of Ask RGT85, where I answer your questions. This week's question comes to us from John Genus, hope I'm saying that right. He basically asked me what I thought about the push to 4K when in his opinion 1080p hasn't fully been explored yet. And I kind of agree with that sentiment. We're sort of entering this weird life cycle in gaming that we've never really seen before. So you have this push to 4K gaming all of a sudden. You have the Xbox One S, which will output videos in 4K, and then the Scorpio, which is supposedly going to have games run natively in 4K. You also have the PS4 Pro, which is kind of trying to push that 4K moniker as well. And in my opinion, it's pointless. I don't see the need for this, especially when there are tons of games that are currently out on these platforms, the Xbox One and the PS4, that do not run at 1080p 60 frames per second, which should be a standard. When you look at the generation gap for all previous systems, the PS3 to PS4, Xbox 360 to Xbox One is probably the slimmest gap in terms of graphic capabilities. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, we're at a point with graphics now where you can only do so much. And I feel that a stronger emphasis should be put on new gameplay mechanics, on advanced AI, advanced enemies and whatnot, not necessarily the graphics. So for this to all of a sudden be a huge push is very strange to me. You know, you have games like Fallout, which, you know, I am not the hugest Fallout fan in the world, but Fallout 4, look at how many times the frame rate dips below to subpar levels, to levels that we as gamers shouldn't, you know, accept. Yet we're now pushing for more powerful hardware when developers aren't really utilizing the hardware that we have now to their full potential, in my opinion. You have a lot of games that don't run that run in 1080p but are not made natively in 1080p as well. So it's very strange to me because when you look at the PC side of things, the PC gaming world is finally starting to get the 4K ball rolling as more of a standard thing, and the PC world is always more advanced than the home console world. So when it comes to console parity and whatnot, maybe developers are looking to advance their games into 4K as, you know, being side-by-side releases, but I just can't imagine right now that 4K is truly needed. Maybe for the next console generation, you know, in a couple years, sure, I could totally see that. But are 4K TVs really a household standard? How many people are actually going to be able to take advantage of the 4K graphics? And are 4K graphics even needed at this point in the game? Shouldn't we be focusing more on gameplay elements? Shouldn't we be focusing more on highly polished titles than just graphic enhancements? It really blows my mind, honestly, how accepting the gaming community has been about these incremental system upgrades that are bringing about 4K when there's still fundamental core problems in gaming. The excessive microtransactions, the excessive patches, the excessive day one issues with these games, yet everyone's just concerned, you know, oh, we'll get, you know, fancier graphics and whatnot. Look, this generation has pretty much been the lighting generation, the PS4 and the Xbox One. You've seen improved lighting, improved textures and whatnot. But as far as games are concerned, have you really seen improved games over the PS3 and the Xbox 360? I don't really think we have. And this strong emphasis on graphics is just going to continue that perpetual motion of graphics over gameplay. And then you're gonna end up with games like The Order 1866, which was just, you know, it wasn't a great game. It was an interesting cinematic experience. And is that what we're setting ourselves up for? More Sega CD-like games, interactive gaming experiences as opposed to real video games? I don't know. That's kind of what I foresee with 4K becoming a popular thing. All of these developers are gonna want to push out the best fidelity graphics for a small segment of the market that owns a 4K TV, because right now, in my opinion, most people still have a standard 1080p HD TV. So is it necessary? No. I think it's a waste of time, and it's something that definitely should be utilized in the future, but for right now, I don't really see the point of it. So let me know what you think of this situation. Do you think something like the Xbox Scorpio is needed in 2017 that will output natively in 4K? Do you think these incremental system upgrades that are adding 4K are necessarily needed in 2016 and 2017? I want to thank John for the question. Once again, if you ever want to ask me a question and be featured on the show, you can like my Facebook page, and once in a while, probably once a week or so, I do put up a question where you can ask, you know, basically whatever you want, and I will choose one. So thank you for liking this video. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I will check you guys next time. Later.